With the 88th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Khalid Ransom, DB, Tulane. With the 89th pick in the 2005 draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Wyatt, Milm, guard, West Virginia.
When you see me go out there on the field, you're going to see someone that loves the game of football, someone that enjoys it. They're going to play through the whistle, they're going to give everything they got, and they're not going to let anyone touch Trevor Lawrence. And I'm going to make that promise to them, and I'm going to make that promise to Trevor.
With the 104th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Facial Tootin, running back, Virginia Tech.
Speed for Liam Cohen.
Hand off Tootin, breaks the tackle. He could go. Facial Tootin, 55-yard house call.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome in Jaguars Today, wrapping up the post-draft week here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Tony, good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Repping Vanderbilt Commodores today, anchored down, as always. What's the weekend looking like for you? Anything good?
Hopefully the Braves can win a game against the Dodgers at some point this year. That'll start tonight.
I enjoyed rooting against the Dodgers. I might even root for the Braves this weekend. Tommy Mack.
What's up?
What's up? How are you?
Good. I got my peanut butter sandwich.
Bro, is that what that is? Okay, yes. I couldn't tell. It looked like stacks, Tony.
Well, I cut it in half.
Yeah, okay, now I can see that's like the edge of bread that's sticking through there. I thought those were, I don't know, some kind of
I'm more than willing to share.
Health bars. What kind of peanut butter we got? I mean, chunky or crunchy or?
No, the all-natural Skippy.
Skippy, oh.
Yeah, creamy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I'm a Peter Pan guy, but Skippy's good, Jif's good. Any of the major brands are good on the peanut butter. So
Pretty widespread on the peanut butter. Mayonnaise different. I gotta have I only do Hellmann's. Like the others, I've tried the others.
I've tried them too, and I even tried like the Hellmann's like reduced calorie one. High test. Yeah. It's only high. I don't eat a whole lot of mayo, but I gotta have the high test, the good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Dylan Denmark, what's new on the west side?
Oh, west side. Apparently, a homeless person was yelling west side over at the beach
at our friend Molly McDonald.
Yeah, she's like, I thought about you. I'm like, good Lord, this can go a million different ways. She goes, oh, a homeless person was yelling west side. I'm like, okay, that's great.
You know, we did remember Tony might know. Tom, you remember we did the scavenger hunt back during the Rumble days.
Oh, yeah.
When you and I were, we did it out at the beach, right?
Yeah.
Out by the pier.
Yeah.
And basically, right. I think it was always
Hacker had to go out.
Hacker was hiding under the pier, Dylan, and like a troll of some kind, and he was very worried about some of the folks that were he's like, there's some homeless folks down here. I mean, not look, everyone's got their own situation in life, but Hacker was a little uncomfortable hiding under the bridge. He was like the end of the scavenger hunt. The clues led you to Hacker. Right. And he had a pair of tickets, I think, to go see the Jags back in the day.
He was always great to do stuff.
He really was. Tony, when he came, when I hired him as my producer back, I mean, this was years ago, over 20 years ago, right? Yeah. And Hack said, I'll get an address on the Buckman Bridge if you need me to. And like he wanted to, that's that radio spirit. I appreciate
Just know that I'm ultra soft.
Well, I don't know that for a fact, but I'll take your word for it on that one. So God bless him. We love Hacker, man.
Good times.
Tommy, did we love the entirety of the NFL draft from your perspective? We spoke last Friday. A lot of Travis Hunter enjoyment. What did you make of days 2 and 3?
No, I liked it. I think they covered some good needs. I'll tell you what, if I've already said it earlier, but if you're a linebacker, running back, and even offensive line, you better be ready to compete
Heads
for a
on
job.
A swivel.
They address those positions, especially linebacker and especially running back. Like, I don't know.
Do you think Kaiser can come in and push for a starting job?
I don't know. I don't know. I watched him in Notre Dame. He made plays.
Yeah. He's 231.
Well, the assessment is he makes them miss a lot. Like he beats them to the point of attack with quickness, or he avoids the lineman.
He tested pretty well. Lateral, some lateral quickness numbers were pretty good.
For sure. But can it transition to the NFL level? That's
can you play at 231 in this linebacker core behind this group of defensive linemen that we have right now?
If you're fast enough, yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, speed then overcomes size.
Does he have it?
Yeah.
To that degree? He's 4'6"
he's not
guy?
a blazer, but I think he's pretty quick.
Quick enough?
I think
All
the
right.
kid out of Auburn, he's more.
McLeod?
Yeah. He's a thumper, too, they say. And he can rush as well. So he can be a little off ball as well. Look, I think you got to believe, right, that the 9 picks, now they got to be realistic, but the 9 draft picks at least, they want these guys to make the team. Like,
of course they do.
Like, this is their guy.
Sure.
Like, you got to come in and we want you
Set
on
the
this
tone
team,
that you're the
right?
first class.
Absolutely.
Right?
So,
By the way, you see the Josh Edwards tone description at CBS of Jalen McLeod?
No.
Called him Diet Jalen Walker. I don't take that as an insult.
No, not
like
at
he's
all.
saying, hey, look,
No.
doesn't give you maybe everything in every measurable category, but
Right.
little undersized. But
goes up on the line and rushes.
can rush the passer and give you some of that same impact,
Yeah.
but at a much reduced price. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I read, and I don't know, listen, I don't know most of these guys, right? I don't watch enough college football to say one way or the other, but I did see the highlights and read on the kid from Q's, the running back, Quint. He's really good out of the back.
LeKint is how it's said now. You know, that's okay. We're all learning them. You know?
He's outstanding out of the backfield, and he's a great pass protecting running back.
Most receptions of any running back last year in D1, I think, right?
I didn't know that, but I know he's really good.
He was one of the leading receivers in America.
So that could be interesting. You know,
16 touchdowns too.
We thought, he scored a lot.
I heard I apologize for not knowing the name. The Helmets and Heels crew had a draft analyst on yesterday, and thought he might be one of the steals of the draft. Allen.
Yeah. Okay.
So
the one I'm really most, other than Travis, is Wyatt.
Wyatt Milum.
Who's the guy that had the big stick? Not
Paul Bunyan. You're talking about Billy Jack?
Not Billy Jack. I think Rock played him once, but
Walking Tall.
Yeah, but who was that guy? What was that guy's name?
Yeah.
He carried the 2x4.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? And he used to whack.
No, I do. Walking Tall.
What was the original guy, or what was his character name, or something like that?
Chris Vaughn.
That's who he played.
Yeah,
that's who The Rock played, Chris Vaughn. But yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, he's coming with an ad. Listen, I just know from experience.
Buford Plusser.
Playing against, what's that?
Buford Plusser.
Yeah, Buford. That's it. They can be nasty up there, up in West Virginia on the football field. We played them every year, and especially at Morgantown. That was a tough place to play. And their linemen typically are pretty physical, got an attitude, a little bit different. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. That's what you hear about him, that he gets after people. He finishes blocks. Where's he going to fit in? We'll see. But again, if I'm him, if I'm any of these guys, it's a brand new staff. Like, unless you're cemented, you got a huge contract, to go along with your position.
Right. There are a handful. Like Trevor's locked in. The 2 edge rushers are locked in. There are a few. Brian Thomas Jr., obviously. Some guys have done it because of contract. Others
Brenton
because
Strange
of
is pretty locked in right now.
Of course.
Brenton Strange.
Yeah. But there's not a whole lot of those guys.
Yep.
The offensive line, I don't see a whole lot of competition for who is eventually going to start at left and right tackle. Yep. I think that's pretty locked in right now, but those middle 3 positions are open to some degree, though Hainsey, I would think, has a...
I think McCarty's got one of those spots, too. Yeah, I think,
it's just a matter of
Milum v. Cleveland is probably a battle we'll keep our eye on. But, and everyone's draft grades are based on their preconceived notions of how good the players are, right? Like, Mel Kiper gives an A+ to Cleveland because he had Shador as his number 1 quarterback. You got him in the 5th round. It's a great deal.
Steal.
So anytime you see a draft grade, that there is that level of kind of bias that's built into it. But there are people out there that I was looking at yet another one just today, a recap of the Jaguars draft. Might have been last night. And they're like, hey, I had Wyatt Milum as a top 50 player. And we went through the mock draft process. There were plenty of times Wyatt Milum would come off the board either to the Jags at 36 or somewhere up to 45. So, I mean, had they traded the same deal for Travis Hunter but kept the 2nd round pick and spent that on Wyatt Milum, it wouldn't have shocked me. Okay. I would have said, maybe they liked him a little bit better than the consensus, but he was still a pretty good value.
He's a targeted player, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. Like I mean, they moved back up to get him. And I hope Caleb Branshaw is the dude. I know a lot of shows are having former coaches on. Every former coach is going to rave about his guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, and, you're getting some
every highlight tape looks good.
They all that's why they call them highlights, right? But, I still would have liked to have seen Jared Wilson at that pick. But, again, doesn't make me right. But that's, we all have our preferences and opinions on it. But today, the focus is on number 16, Trevor Lawrence. Okay? Because, well, look, new coaching staff led by an offensive-minded head coach who's going to call plays, right? So you lost a bunch of one-score games last year. You're expecting Liam Cohen to come in and have not just an impact in making it a different vision, but in actually getting better results out of these plays,
more
right?
Consistent play.
So you added 4 linemen in free agency, 2 more in the draft, right? You added Travis Hunter. Now, granted, you also chose to have Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk depart, but based on the changed set of circumstances, what are your expectations for Trevor Lawrence in 2025? That's the Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. And there are definitely interesting ways to answer it. You don't have to give us like statistical breakdown. You can. Plenty of people have. I expect him to throw for 4,500 yards and X amount of touchdowns or whatever. That's fine. But let's just have that discussion today about Trevor Lawrence and what we think he can accomplish here with the Jaguars in 2025 in the immediate future. All right, we're ready to roll on this Friday. Tom McManus is in studio repping those Azar sausages on that hat right there, baby. Give me your slogan that you came up with.
Whether in your favorite dish or in a bun, Azar sausage is the one.
That's not bad.
Thank you.
Tom McManus.
My marketing, it's marketing.
He's a songwriter, ladies and gentlemen. He's a singer-songwriter, performer.
I can get creative.
He's a jingle man as well. He's a pitch man. I like it. All right, so let's talk Jaguar football in all its many forms. If you've got a question, comment about the Jaguars, 641-1010 on the phone lines, presented by Checkmate Coatings, the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at that same number. The YouTube virtual studio is open for business, so you can hop in the chat. Dylan, how are we doing on the app today? Any word on the app? Somebody hit me up on Twitter, said they couldn't get the app to open. Have we heard anything about this?
I have not heard anything about that.
All right. Well, if you're trying to listen on the app and it's not working, then you're not hearing what I'm saying. But I will say there are many other you can go to, just go to YouTube and bring up 1010XL and you'll probably find it right there. But I will check because I had to say it once I read that. I tried to open it. It wouldn't open for me either. So apps can be temperamental. And we do have not only a 1010 app, we have a 92.5 app because we sometimes stream different content.
Oh,
so,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, if one's not working, you can always try the other one as well.
You have to download them.
So there you go. And also social media today at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Brunson puts up a 3. Bang! Bang! Jalen Brunson hits the 3.
You have redeemed yourself for any past transgressions, young man.
The double bang.
Way to get off to a good start on a Friday, Dylan Denmark. All right, we are rolling. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. Meet 1010XL's Afternoon Warrior.
Full transparency, I've never done battle.
Hayes Carlisle.
I've just pushed some people and run away.
Weekdays on The Franchi Show.
This is man's best hook.
On 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town, setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Warm weather means the beach, fishing, golf, and more. Make sure to drop into Daly's and grab a cold case to go. From Bud Light to their seltzer, from Mick Ultra to Modelo, or your favorite crafts like Old City or Sweetwater. Grab and go at your local Daly's.
It's your main man E.T. and Monday is Cinco de Mayo at Twin Peaks with a costume party on May 5th. Specials on tequilas, cervezas, and even wine. And I'm hearing the servers are going to bring the spicy costumes too. Twin Peaks for Cinco de Mayo, where the party gets spicy.
I'm Max Fink on your Gator station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen to the Gator Report all year round.
Freshened up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators. 1010XL.
Go, Gators! Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security. Those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes. Nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com, COYLE, jacks.com.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Join us at Miller Electric May 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. We're on the lookout for talented people from entry level to experienced electricians and foremen, security system installation and service technicians, fire alarm system service technicians, and both senior and junior VDV technicians. This is your chance to get hired on the spot. Meet the managers, indulge in delicious food, and snag some awesome giveaways. Don't miss out on this electrifying chance to power up your career. Miller Electric, May 29th, 4 to 7 p.m., 6805 South Point Parkway.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. If you've ever wondered why some jewelry stores and department stores always have a sale going at 50 to 75% off, there's a good reason. Because most of the time, they're not real sales. The prices are marked up so they can sell the piece at a big discount and still make the profit they need. If you wanted to find a realistic sales event, the store wouldn't run a year-round sale, and the discounts would be a little more realistic. For example, Underwoods puts all of our diamond solitaire necklaces and ear studs on sale in May at 15% below the prices we sell at the rest of the year. So there's a genuine savings to the customer. We also take trade-ins. So it's the ideal time to buy for someone looking to grow their pendant or ear studs up to a larger size. Now at Underwoods, we don't run a lot of sales, but when we do, they're real and a good time to buy. So come see us at Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops upon Avedra.
It's your go-to for golf talk. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
All we need to do is develop the rest of your game. Then you'll be unstoppable, son.
Get local updates, gear reviews, and all things golf talk. Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
A chipped windshield can turn into a big problem fast. Lauren Brooks here. Trust Novus Glass of Jacksonville for expert repair and replacement. Call 904-289-2905 for Novus Glass in Orange Park. 904-289-2905.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Smack in the Middle. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
How do we get on to that, Tom? We were just talking hockey, Tony, on the break, and which is definitely out of my field of expertise. If I have a field of expertise, it's not hockey.
Right.
So I don't know how we got on that, but
I don't know.
about New York.
I saw we were talking about the NBA playoffs. I was like, I haven't watched NBA, but I've been watching hockey.
Yeah.
And I was like, the goalie, man, it's got to be the tough. Then we started with the goalie.
We got in on the whole goalie thing.
You know how things go, Mike. They start
Tom,
rolling.
I enjoy having you in on these Fridays.
Hey, you never know where it could go.
Never know what expectations we should have. But today we are asking, what are your expectations for Trevor Lawrence? Now that the Jags have a new coaching staff, hopefully an improved offensive line, and Travis Hunter to go along with Brian Thomas Jr. in the wide receiver core. You can hit us up in any of the various fashions and let us know what you think about that or anything else having to do with Jaguar football. Okay. Let's start this morning on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Eric on the west side is going to lead us off today on 1010XL. Eric, good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Excellent, man. What's up?
My expectation for Trevor is that it's time. You got the weapons, you got the coaches, you got the scheme. On paper, quote unquote, they say this O-line is better than last year O-line. So hopefully he can just lock in. Hopefully he stays healthy. That's the main key because that special year on the back end of 22 up to 23, he was healthy. So when he's healthy, he's able to deliver, and he has to take down his big nemesis. It's not Patrick Mahomes, it's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow beat him in the national championship, and he beat him a couple of times in their NFL matchup. And it's time for him to be in that conversation with Joe Burrow as well. And that's my take.
All right, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Look, I personally don't think he's going to be in the conversation with Joe Burrow. I mean, he hasn't shown me that level of high-level consistency in the National Football League. And you could say, well, what about that 16-game stretch? It wasn't a Joe Burrow stretch. I mean, Joe Burrow, look at what Joe Burrow did last year down the stretch. He was throwing 3 to 4 touchdowns every single week. Now, he's got great weapons. Trevor's got some pretty good ones as well. But I think Eric's point, Tom, health is the starting point of all this.
He's got to be healthy.
Are you, whatever the numbers are, and we'll talk about that as we go along, if Trevor Lawrence stays healthy and is able to start 17 games this year, will he bring the people who are on the fence back on board with him, in your opinion?
Yeah, I'd like to think that he will. I mean, I can't sit here and say absolutely, but I mean,
look, it's your opinion.
This is, the job of the head coach and the offensive coordinator and the QB coach to make sure that Trevor is fully prepared and ready to go. I'll go back to what Baker Mayfield said about Liam. What made it easy? He made the pre-reads, the pre-snap reads, a lot easier, and it helped his game tremendously. I think that's half the battle with any quarterback. You know where to go with the ball, right? You're on the same page. Like last year, look, even when Trevor is healthy or was healthy, the first year, like 22, right? We're not counting 21, I guess, but 22, 25-8. It was a great year.
Yeah, a good step in
very good
the right
year.
direction.
Right. We thought it was going to continue to go. That first year we were 8-3. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't lighting it up either. He was okay. He would have some good games. He'd have some not so good games. And then the injuries happened. Then it went south from there. But listen, I mean, it's year what, 5? It's time. It's time. They've got him surrounded with talent. I hope they've got enough up front. That look, in his, whatever we say of his assessment, in his defense, when you lose trust of your offensive line, it's hard to play quarterback at any level. And I think last year, even before the end, he lost that trust. He didn't trust that they were going to give him enough time, to make that, because he had to go to the second read. And when you go to 1 and you go to 2 and they're in your face, it's hard to do anything or try to escape or whatever.
All right, let me ask both of you guys, how do you rank what's most important for Trevor's improvement this year, assuming he's going to put in the work regardless of the circumstances, right? You got Liam Cohen's influence. You got an improved offensive line, better protection, that trust you're talking about, Tom. You got the Heisman Trophy winning, Blitnikoff Award winning playmaker added to Brian. You have legit what you hope will be seen as two true NFL number ones. Which is the most important to his development this year, Tony?
I think for me, in my mind, it's have they gotten enough done on offense that when they get in a 3rd and 2, there's an actual risk that they can run the ball on
Okay.
you, right? And I think that has a big impact on everything they can do on offense to keep that group on the field. I think they've been limited in the weapons that they've had on the field at times, which has kind of limited their effectiveness in that, in the combination of that and the play calling and all the chaos, the offensive line not being very good. But this has been among the handful of the worst teams in the National Football League the last 2 years on 3rd and short.
Oh, yeah, awful.
And I think just improving in that area pays dividends for everything else on the offense because they'll be on the field more.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tommy?
Well, no, I agree with that. I also think Liam. I'm gonna say Liam Cohen because the thing with Trev for me, look, we all know he can make that incredible throw, like that incredible play.
Super talented.
Yeah. I want to see more consistency on the routine throws, the ones where the guy's open, just put in the right spot, give him a chance to make a play, and do that more consistently. He's not bad. I'm not sitting here saying he's never on, but it's not consistent enough. But I think. What Liam Cohen will do is the pre-snap, and they're going to clean up his mechanics. He does get flat-footed at times. He just throws with his arms sometimes. He's got to stop doing that. He doesn't flip it. He even said, I got to flip my hips and get my whole body behind that throw. Those type of things. So I think they'll clean it up. So I think Liam Cohen and the staff working with Trevor will make him even better in those aspects. And I think if he gets better at that, the routine stuff, and then continues to make we're talking a really good year. You know what I mean?
Well, and if you've got two guys that can take the routine stuff and turn it into big gainers.
Big games.
Yeah, and but I tend to agree with you. I think it's the Liam Cohen influence that you've got to scheme up some easy stuff, scheme some layups for him. Yep. How many times do we go in, Trevor, first quarter, among his first 2 or 3 passes, sails 3 yards over somebody's head, right? I don't know if he's too amped up, whatever it is. He's got it. He needs sometimes like a couple of drives or a quarter to dial it in, maybe get him some of that easier stuff that can not only result in completions, but actually result in moving the chains because you've got playmakers with the balls in their hands at that point, Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this, because I thought about this in the past. So year 1's Urban Meyer, right? It was only one and done, so whatever. Year 2 is Doug, and that's their first year together.
Mm-hmm.
So teams game planning they're going off of what Doug did in Philly, maybe trying to figure that out.
Sure.
He has a really good year. They have, as an offense, a pretty good year, right? Then the next year, right, like a year 2 quarterback normally, they figure out what he's really good at, right?
But, in the next year,
is that part of it?
I feel like he started the year pretty well, and then the injuries started to mount, and he goes out in the Cincinnati game.
That was late, though.
Right,
but that was week 12,
but they were playing for the number 1 seed at that point.
No, I don't know.
So they were 8-3.
Well, I think that team, and it's hard to remember now because it feels so long ago.
Yeah.
Right? Like halfway through 2023 feels so long ago. Right, for this football team.
It is long.
And I go back to thinking how we felt about Trevor and the team, at least I did, at that time when the injury happened. Right? When I thought he was well on his way to the same kind of heater he was on for the back half of 2022.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. And then the injury happened, and everything fell apart for that football team. And when he got back, he wasn't himself, post-injury. He's the guy who's willing to, if I can play, I'm going to play. Like, that's the way Trevor deals with all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. The only way he's not going to play is if a coach says, you're not playing. Right? Like, that's the only thing that's going to stop him. You're not playing. It has to be that kind of thing. He didn't get that. He didn't get a block from the coaching staff, and I'm okay with them not putting up that block on Trevor Lawrence. If he can play, I think he should play, but he wasn't that same player that he had been going into the injury. I really felt like even in 2023, he was about to be on one of those runs.
And we remember before he got hurt during that game, he was having a great game.
Yes.
I mean, he was having probably his best game of the year of 2023. Wouldn't you agree? Like, it was one of his best games at least, and then he gets stepped on, and we know. Mm-hmm. Then Kirk got hurt too. That hurt him too.
Yeah,
that hurt the offense as well. So
yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, we take Ingram and Kirk out of the offense. Well, they were out of the offense for half the year anyway.
No, right.
Last year, so it's like you got accustomed to not having them, unfortunately, and that'll be the reality going forward. All right, let's take a time out here. If you want to get in, talk about any aspect of Jaguar football, we'd love to hear about it, but particularly your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence now that the conditions are changed, and what he's going to be operating in, coaching staff, weapons, protection, perhaps running game as well. Bring it to the table here at 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Tensions build.
3rd and 12. Let's go.
Plot thickens.
We got to get off the field.
Crowds roar. Tune in and let the show begin. Your home for live play-by-play is 1010XL.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Jason, I don't see how a new air conditioner is going to work out for me.
Well, you like air conditioning, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. But a new air conditioner could be expensive.
Well, not if you...
I mean, to save up the money, I probably have to give up my extra hot skim latte every morning. Now I fall asleep during a staff meeting, get volunteered for the summer picnic committee, and end up sitting in the dunk tank all afternoon getting water up my nose.
Okay, look at it this way. Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Bueller Air and Plumbing puts in a new AC. We hook you up with affordable financing, and you stay cool and comfortable for just $149 a month. Cool?
Cool. I see it now.
Life can be hard on your budget. If you suffer through the heat because of a broken AC you could totally afford to replace, you could visit.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Dan and Jeff take you down the fairway with the PGA Tour professionals.
Keep an eye on this one.
Crunch with the Tour.
Tour news, tips, and inside info. Brought to you by
Clearwater Irrigation. 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings, tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer and handcrafted cocktails, all in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape. And you're home for sports, too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane Grill and Wings. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
It's Guggen Golf Time. If you and a friend would like to play in this year's Coastal Equipment Guggen Open Golf Tournament, May 19th at Hidden Hills Golf Club, text Guggen to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010 for your chance to win. Score a hole-in-one and win an Atlantic Infinity SUV. You could win Chicken Salad Chick certificates and food for a year. Check out the big boy toys from Ride Now Power Sports. Thanks to our sponsors, Twin Peaks, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and TopDressing.com.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? Oh, I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
Hey, Coach Denmark, what's the Baldwin tribe up to today?
They're all the way out in Pensacola at Pine Forest High School.
What regional track meet?
Yes, sir, regionals.
What are we hoping for here today?
We need our 2 hurdlers, 2 jumpers, our 2 relays to make it to state next Friday.
Okay, that's a realistic goal?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You got to be top 18 in the state. And we're like, everybody's right at like 10 to 15. So.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll see.
Coach still throw the shot.
Did you?
Yeah. Disc.
You're on the track team, like high school?
Junior year.
Yeah?
Yeah, I didn't do it my senior year.
Okay.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah? Were you good?
I was all right.
All right.
Did you make it to state?
No. So I wasn't that good.
Yeah. Still, what were you better at, discus or shot put?
I think shot.
Okay. You ever throw the hammer?
No.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, there's no hammer in high
Sounded
school.
like hack.
No hammer in high school?
No. They barely passed javelin.
Too dangerous to throw the hammer? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Hayes Carline is so disappointed. All right. 641-1010. Back we go to the phone lines. You want to talk a little Jaguar football? This is the place to do it. Sean is on the south side. Next up here on 1010XL. Good morning, Sean.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, man.
All right.
I wanted to get you guys' opinion on how the secondary is going to shape out. Maybe this is a bold take, but I feel that Tyson may not make it through the season. I mean, he's been getting injured past couple seasons, and I don't even think his pay is matching up with the money that we paid him. So if I'm Liam, I don't necessarily go off the money that's tied up to him. I would rather see the best on the field. I like the 2 draft picks that we picked up. I think one of them was an undrafted free agent out of Oregon, I believe. But I think he's a good player. And I'll take you guys' comments on that.
Yeah, Jabbar Muhammad, I think, right, is a guy that, some coverage metrics had him one of the better cover guys in college football, you know, but he's undersized. He's a smaller guy. I think Tyson, when he's healthy, when he's right, can be a very good player, and I don't think that there are 3 corners better than Tyson Campbell currently on this roster.
On the roster,
and does he need to, will he make it through the season? I hope he will.
Right.
Right. I mean, we say I don't think he'll make it through the season. I mean, I get it. He's gotten banged up. Plenty of guys have, but some of that is just, Tom, you're flying around on an NFL field. Some guys get hurt, some guys don't.
Yeah, and his was always the hammy.
Yeah,
and
oftentimes.
as a corner, man, if you can't open up that gate, it's hard to cover, especially downfield. I will say the one thing I really like about Tyson, he's great in run support. Very physical tackler, very physical guy. So, but look, I should add corner into that room of, positions that better be on their toes because you've got competition coming. I think if he's healthy, he's your he's your guy, but you have to prove that you can stay healthy too. So they do have to have a contingency plan, that someone can step in. Monteric did a nice job last year. He should be, out there, I think, right? Monteric's still with us? Or
yeah. So
I think he played pretty darn well.
They've got a lot of options.
Okay,
right?
good.
Right. If you presume right now, forget the rookies, right? You've got Jordan Lewis coming in, paid to be your nickel because he was paid as the top nickel at the time he signed the deal. Jarian is an option outside.
Sure.
Travis Hunter is an option outside. To what degree? It's going to be tough to know. What does this staff feel about a guy like DeAndre Prince?
I want to see Prince. I think he showed some things.
We have no idea, though, right? They might think they have a diamond in the rough.
Yep.
They've got Caleb Ransall, who, yes, they're going to start as a safety.
Right.
But he played corner in college. So he's got to be an option for you, particularly if Darnell Savage is able to hold down the starting free safety spot for this team and you want to get Ransall on the field. He could be an option for you in nickel, dime packages. I think they have a lot of interesting combinations they can put together. I think it does, in part, not to dismiss the point of Sean. I don't think Tyson Campbell is likely to get flat benched for any young set of corner. Like, I get Travis Hunter, but I think Travis Hunter is an accompaniment to him in that secondary.
Well, at the same time, though, Tyson's going to earn it. I mean, they're going to make him earn that job. There's no doubt. I don't think the contract is one of those where you're like, I gotta play him, right? He is, like you said, there's not three better corners, but let's get him out on that field and competing. And you do, like I said, like, look, 2 years he's been injured. That's tough. You know what I mean? You don't know. Like, what if it happens again? What if he has another pull? I mean, it can happen. You know, those things are susceptible to happen again. So,
you know, the thing of it is that contract, oh, man, he got all this money. He really, it's not a crazy deal. Yeah. Keep in mind, Tyson Campbell is 25 years old, man.
Yeah.
This guy, he's a talented guy.
Yep.
I'm hoping that we see the best version of Tyson Campbell that we've ever seen.
He's got swag, too, which I like.
They're underwater in terms of, like for the next couple of years, it's cheaper to have him on the team than it is to not have him on the team. So Tyson Campbell's going to be a part of this mix and maybe well beyond that as well. You know, and somebody yesterday, there's always a few out there. Trevor Lawrence is going to do this. He better watch it. Trevor Lawrence can barring a catastrophic injury, Trevor Lawrence's cap hit next year.
Right.
And they have no first-round pick. Trevor Lawrence is your quarterback for the foreseeable future.
That's right.
Whether you like, I'm okay. I'm actually excited with the conditions that we might get the best Trevor Lawrence that we've seen, right? But if you're in that camp of, I just don't believe he's the guy, well, you better hope you're wrong because he's going to have multiple years of opportunity to be that guy here in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he will show to be that guy.
Yeah. I was just going to say back in the defensive backs, I'm more Savage has got to he's really got to earn that safety spot, man. He was out of position last year a few times.
But Campanile should know him very well, being on that staff, even though he didn't coach him directly, right? I mean,
and again, you know,
they signed Eric Murray that they believe he's going to help them in that secondary.
You know, it was funny. I was making a joke with my friends. I said, you know, quarterbacks get these across the league, not excuses, but he's had 3 coordinators. He's had 2 but linebackers don't get that. Safeties don't. You know what I mean? Like, no one's like, well, you know, Savage, he's a couple different coordinators. I mean, well, maybe he needs a new coordinator. You know what I mean? Like,
but
to your credit, like maybe Campanile is going to get him to play.
Maybe he will,
like he was playing in Green Bay, which we thought we were going to get here.
But in not to disparage your fine cohorts on the defensive side of the ball, but isn't it more complex from a quarterback standpoint?
Yeah, I was being facetious.
All right, but I just want your point is a good one. Like, we don't talk about that aspect nearly as much.
Yeah.
Like, guys got to learn a new system, new responsibilities. But the layman, myself, Tony's feeling is that it's a lot easier to do that on that side of the ball.
It is. But like with Devin Lloyd, you know, not getting the 5th-year option, it's okay. You got to earn it. It's all good. But you know, he's had a couple different coordinators, a couple different defensive schemes, you know. I don't know.
It's just a shame because he's still in his mid-20s. The team, and whether it's this regime or not, the team invested a first-round pick. In fact, they spent 3 picks to get that first-rounder. And I don't mind, Tone, that they didn't pick up the 5th-year option because I don't think he hasn't shown to be worth that money. No. But I have a very open mind to Devin Lloyd earning a contract extension if he could get a linebackers coach mentality guy to come in and get the best out of him that we've seen.
I'm glad that the previous regime didn't try to get anything done with him before they had to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I am glad that they did that. I do think they went a year early on Tyson. I do.
Oh, yeah,
I thought
no,
it
I
when they
agree.
made the
I
deal
agree.
with Tyson last off. That was the one that I was like, I don't know about this. With the injury stuff and everything else that was, I was like, I just don't know. I would have made him play out this season. I don't know if he would have wound up back here in Jacksonville if he had played out the season and then had the potential of free agency. I don't know that he would be in the cornerback room here, but I'd be okay with that if that was the result. Like, I wouldn't be all that upset if Tyson Campbell was out the door. It's not that I don't think he can be a good player, but he has had the injury stuff the last couple of years.
doubt.
Yeah, but again, the guys get hurt and, sometimes can't shake it. Freddie T had that rap early in his career. Oh, Fred Taylor, he's fragile Fred, until he wasn't. Sure. And then, so I look at the contract. I think when you really look at it, I think they got a bargain on him. Look, this year and next year, the cap hit is $8 million and $10.5. That's nothing for your number one corner in today's NFL. And then if he's not playing up to that, you can move on and you'll have a dead cap charge the first year you move on, but you'll save a minimum of $10 million against the cap if you make that choice. Or he's playing well enough that he's earning that kind of money. But like for the next 2 years, he is super affordable for
I'm not
team.
upset about the money that he's getting paid the next 2 years. Like, I'm not upset about the actual contract that they got done with Tyson. I wouldn't have done it when they did it. Right. Yeah. And if the consequence was Tyson Campbell wasn't here, I'd just kind of shrug my shoulders. Right. With what they've had from him the last couple of years, it's not that I don't think he can be a really good corner. It's not that I doubt that is the potential result for Tyson Campbell, but it's not a move that I would have made. It's not that I think it's a bad contract necessarily from that perspective. It's just not the one that I would have made. Now, do I think he's the top of the corner depth chart right now? Yeah. I do. And a lot of that is he's the one that's been paid.
Yep.
Right? So he is the one that's going to be relied upon. And you do see it's kind of the Trevor thing, but on the reverse side with you see it. Right? You see the player and you're like, I can see why you would want to pay that guy at that position that kind of money. I understand that process. It was just with all the other contracts they did last offseason, that was the one that I was like, I probably would have waited on that.
I think a lot of that was what did the owner say? We want to draft, we want to develop, we want to extend.
Right, want to stop going in and signing other teams' free agents. And the feeling more you reward the guys that you drafted, the more it reflects well on you. Oh, well, he must be worth something, right? But Tyson just gets back to where he was those first couple of years. He played 15 games his rookie year. He played 17 every game. Started every game. Second year.
Second year, he was great.
He had 3 interceptions. He broke up 15 passes that year. The last 2 years, he's broken up 11 combined. So he hasn't been getting his hands on the football. He's missed 6 and 5 games in each, respectively. So if he just avoids the hamstring pulls, he'll probably be on the field for 15 games this year.
It's what we talked about this a little bit this offseason when we were putting Jarian Jones in different places on different top fives we were doing, right? And so I had looked at this number here recently, and that second year with Tyson Campbell, Pro Football Reference does have the passer rating against, right, when a corner is targeted in the pass game. And that second year, Tyson Campbell had a passer rating against of 78. And that was clearly his best year. That's essentially the year that Jarian Jones had last year. Right? At corner. It's been the last 2 years where it feels these have been the 2 years with Tyson, and I'm like, what's going on with them? Right? The injuries and everything else. But it was 94-78. That was his first couple of years in the league. It jumped up to 128.5 and 101.6 the last couple. Like, he hasn't quite been what he was the first 2 years here the last couple. I hope he gets back to that kind of status again.
Well, remember his rookie year, he wasn't getting beat. He just wasn't turning his head around.
Couldn't find
the ball. He was always right in the hip pocket, it seemed. And then the next year, he started turning his head around and started making plays, and then the injury happened.
I am a Tyson, again, health, I can't predict it. But I think if he stays healthy, we're going to see this year maybe the best we've seen of Tyson Campbell. He just turned 25. Just turned.
And for the record, I know you know this and you didn't mean anything by it, but Freddie didn't have a nagging injury. He
I understand. No, that was that one. No, but he did early on. Before he tore the groin muscle off the bone. The Fragile Fred nickname was around way before that.
Was it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, early in his career.
Coughlin kept putting him on as questionable, and then he
that
play.
year he did.
Yeah,
yes,
when he couldn't recover from something. Was it? I thought it was always the groin. Maybe I got injuries mixed up.
I think Fred had several different things.
How many games did he miss prior to that?
Fred only played 10 games his second year in the league.
Okay, 99.
He missed. I
remember him being it.
So he missed 3 games in 2000.
Okay.
So that's
12 in 2 years.
Well, no, he missed 6 and 3, so he missed 9 games in 2 years. Then he had the season in 2001 where, yes, he tore the groin muscle on the bone. I remember that nickname being around well before then. And I'm not saying it was deserved or fair or anything like that. I'm just saying that was his reputation. And here he was in his 4th year. Tyson just completed his 4th year.
Right.
We'd be saying, oh, Fred Taylor can't stay healthy. He missed 9 games. Then he missed 14 last year. Then he played 16, 14, and so it changed as he got older, and maybe just some of it's fluky, some of it's probably taking care of your body and learning how to do it better. But
sure,
Tom Coughlin did Fred wrong by listing him questionable when there was no chance he was playing.
That was with the groin.
I'll never. I was at Fred's locker that day, and Fred was like, "Look," and he's like, I've had nothing because we kept asking Fred, "You're questionable. Why aren't you playing? Why are you playing?"
Right.
And then he finally came out, and that's when we found out. You realized that no, we didn't realize because no one tells the same thing. And your head coach is saying you're 50-50 to suit up this week. And
actually, questionable 75-25. Probable.
I thought probable was 75-25.
Probable is 75-25.
The old
That's right.
one.
Yeah, right.
Now it doesn't mean that at all.
No. Right. Oh, it doesn't?
No, it doesn't have
probable
the percent. There is no probable
listed with
anymore.
questionable. They're all listed as questionable. So
if there's any chance it's
the Patriots got in that habit where they would list everyone as probable.
Or probable.
Yes.
And it was like, what's? It's not even
they'd
a
have 16
designation.
guys on the thing. So anyway, again, I'm not taking shots at Freddie T.
No, I know
obviously,
you
we
don't.
love Fred.
I get so mad every time I open his Pro Football Reference page and that nickname is still on
and it's right there.
It makes me so
the
mad.
name on his.
I hit that, dude. There's nothing fragile about him.
Right. I mean, it's absurd. I mean, it's just silly, but it is what it is.
Though. Well, but listen, when you have injuries and you can't perform, that's the thing with Tyson. Like we know he can play when he's healthy. He's great when he's healthy, but he hasn't been healthy. So can he stay healthy? Hopefully he can. That'd be great.
I think I want to look up.
Listen, he played when he was healthy. He played pretty well, pretty physical. Even last year, a couple games, he was pretty physical when he was out there.
Isaac Bruce started his career very strong. Then in his 4th and 5th year, he missed a bunch of games. And he had hamstring issues. And it was and he was Isaac Bruce, chronic hamstring guy.
Right.
Then, he worked out with Jackie Joyner Kersey and it Bob Kersey? Was that her
Bob
husband?
Kersey, I
think he worked out with Bob Kersey and learned how to stretch better and take care of it. And then didn't miss another game for 5 years after that.
Well, listen, you make up a good point. We're all focused on building that muscle, but you gotta stretch that muscle, man. That's when you get too bound up.
I'm a pretty big in sports science.
Kinesiology 101.
Yes, I can't spell it, but I can talk it out.
You can.
All right, I don't know. Kinesiology? K-I-N-E. No?
K-I-N-I-E.
Oh, see, there you go. I told you you couldn't spell it.
And then throw an S in there, I think. And then eology.
And then eology, sure. Right, E-O-L-O-B-I-N-G-O. All right. We'll come back. Hour 2. What do you think about Trevor Lawrence in 2025? We'll get to that discussion as well. Your thoughts on any aspect of Jaguar football, always welcome on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines, the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Hop in the YouTube virtual studio chat or hit us up on social media. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Got a beautiful weather weekend ahead of us. It's just been beautiful outdoor weather for a while now. Guess what? Maybe you're headed to the beach this weekend. You're going to do some honeydews. Who knows what you're up to, but I know this. You're going to get hungry at some point. Duval is all spread out. So you're driving around, swing into an area gate station, head right to the fresh case. Look for the Dandy and Anytime Deli labels, sandwiches, subs, a full line of pick-me-up, on-the-go, delicious food. It's a local company started by a family, the Thompson family, huge supporters of the local sports scene nearly 70 years ago, and all they've done is not rest on their laurels. Improve the recipes, expanded their menu, kept prices in check, give you fantastic variety, and everything they have is made with the highest quality ingredients they can find. Whatever your taste, you want a breakfast menu, they've got that. Sandwiches, subs, light food for on the go. When you're hungry in Duval, folks, do what I do. Go out and make yours a dandy. And do it today.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Some of life's proudest moments came out of struggle. We did it. When you realize you met the challenge. 1010XL.
Want a simple way to boost your company's image without a big renovation? A fresh paint job in your brand's colors can increase recognition up to 80%. At Performance Painting, we help companies stand out with clean, on-brand finishes that impress clients and energize employees. From color consultations to low-odor coatings that won't disrupt operations, we've got you covered. Visit performance-painting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
The Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa is the perfect place for indulging in a pampering spa treatment. This Mother's Day season, give the gift of wellness with a gift card and take advantage of the spa's current promotion. Buy a $75 gift card or more and guests get a credit towards a future service. With healing massages, revitalizing facial treatments, and more, a day at the Sawgrass Spa makes a perfect gift for everyone. Purchase in person at Sawgrass Spa during operating hours.
Hey there, Jacksonville. With scorching temperatures just around the corner, it's crucial to ensure your AC is blowing nice and cool. Duck Duck Air Conditioning is here to keep you comfortable all summer long. But don't wait until the heat gets here. Our service techs are ready right now to handle any cooling issues you may have at your home or business. Call Duck Duck AC today at 904-862-6769 to schedule. That's 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Online at duckduckac.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Fantastic news here. Due to overwhelming response, Beers Diamonds extending their amazing earring and bracelet sale for Mother's Day. Hicken here. So now through Mother's Day, you can still save up to 40% off diamond earrings and diamond tennis bracelets. It's Beers' most ambitious offer ever, and response has been incredible. The corporate-owned big box stores can't touch these prices. Beers, locally owned, man. Say hi to the Lupos when you go over there. The freedom to give you pricing you deserve. Highest quality diamond jewelry. Celebrate the mothers in your life with something they'll appreciate for decades to come. They also have special pricing on other Mother Day favorites, including colored gemstones, pearls, pendants, and fashion jewelry. Beards Diamonds, your destination for making this Mother's Day truly special. Don't miss Beards Diamonds' biggest sale ever. Up to 40% off Beards' already beatable value price. Now through Mother's Day at the Town Center. Only locally owned jeweler. It's Beards Diamonds.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm just going to cut to the chase. What you really want to know is, why buy from Arlington Toyota? Mia here. How about over 800 vehicles, one lot, 60-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone. Plus, right now, you choose a pre-owned 2022 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for $0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till August 2025? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter-mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL local sports update brought to you by Awaken 180. Jordan Travis, the former Florida State quarterback and 2024 fifth-round NFL draft pick by the New York Jets, announced his retirement from the NFL yesterday. This decision comes after a prolonged and ultimately unsuccessful recovery from a severe leg injury sustained during his final college season. Travis leaves behind a remarkable college legacy at Florida State, holding multiple school records, including quarterback rushing touchdowns. He was named ACC Player of the Year in 2023 and is remembered as one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in the program history. The Jacksonville University Dolphins baseball team is set to embark on a crucial ASUN Conference series this weekend against Queen's University of Charlotte. The 3-game series will take place at Queen's up in North Carolina starting tomorrow night. The series is pivotal for the Dolphins as they aim to strengthen their position in the ASUN standings and secure a spot in the upcoming conference tournament. It's 80 degrees at 11 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service on 1010XL.
What about Trevor Lawrence in 2025? We'll get to that conversation coming up here shortly in this hour. If you want to talk Jaguar football in all its many wonderful forms, 641-1010, as we're just not even a week since the conclusion of the NFL draft. And we're saying, Tom, next year, Tony and I are going to have our work cut out for us. It's when you're picking fifth, there are a million different angles you could take when you're picking 45th or wherever they're going to be with their first selection.
Yeah.
And let's hope the later, the better.
I got a feeling they'll somehow find a way back in. You know,
into the first round.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I don't know how, but
they have a lot of they've got 3 third rounders next year. They have a bunch of picks. Yeah. They have like the third or fourth most picks still next year, even without a first rounder. Yeah. Because you don't have that premium one. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think now we've seen it can be unpredictable. Obviously, we've seen the F them picks mentality when the Rams traded, for instance, to the Jaguars a couple of firsts, and I think it was a fourth maybe for Jalen Ramsey, right? And we'll use them to go out there and strike to get a veteran proven player. And this year, they're sitting there at 26, and they get a chance to pick up a first next year. They felt the board was kind of flat, so they're accumulating, you know. So I don't think you can just say, we're never going to have a first rounder or whatever. The Rams didn't have one for 5 years in a row. Well, that was a set of circumstances. And I think if the Jags are close, I think you're going to see this team be like, yeah, we'll trade you next year's first rounder because we think we're going to be damn good. And I could see that becoming commonplace for this team. But I think that one of the keys is, Tone, I don't think you can predict what James Gladstone's going to do. There's not enough of a book on him. And just because he came from under the Les Snead umbrella doesn't mean he is a carbon copy of that guy.
No, we'll see. Look, he's done it for 1 year here in Jacksonville. We'll see exactly what he is as a GM over the next several years, right? Like that kind of thing. I know, Tommy, I even commented on it the other day when you put something on Twitter about the Devin Lloyd. You know, them not picking up the fifth-year option, and you applauded them for not feeling the need, you know, to do that with the previous regime's players, and I agree, right? Like, there's no pressure on them to do that. The pressure, as I mentioned on the show yesterday, is going to be in 2 or 3 years when it's their own guys they're having to make those kind of decisions on, and are they willing to make the right decision when it was their decision that was wrong? That's when the real test comes into play.
No, for sure. Absolutely. And like I said, I mean, I kind of liked it. They're going to make him earn it, you know. And he's got every chance. I like Devin. I do. I don't like him in coverage, but I don't think it's the physical part. I think it's more the mental. So maybe they could clean that up a little bit for him, too. I don't know.
Who do you like? Let's talk about this linebacker core for a minute, and then we'll go around the league, get all the latest news here with Tony. But Foyer, obviously, is going to be in the mix.
You would think he's starting middle linebacker.
Is he the middle, though? I mean,
or maybe they move him to
what's the best use of Devin Lloyd? If Devin Lloyd is a liability in coverage.
Yeah. He's a liability, though, from a mental aspect, or has been. So could they clean that up? Maybe. I don't think it's physical. I don't think he can't run well enough. I don't think
Is it recognition?
Yeah. And a little confusion. And you could see it, like when you watch the games, when they go 4 strong and they're man-to-man and the one guy sneaks out the back and he's the backside backer and he's just kind of like, well, wait a minute, where's my guy? And then it's too late kind of deal.
He's fine when he knows who his guy is at the snap.
He can cover well enough, for sure.
Let me ask you, because I think one of the things that has been a talking point this offseason is the past coaching regime locked the guy in, right? Like, Jarian, you're going to be a nickel, right? And this is what you're going to be. And granted, at times your hand is forced. Walker Little, we're going to play inside. But certain guys seem to have, like, Christian Kirk's going to operate almost exclusively out of the slot, even though maybe mixing things around might be the better approach. So could it simply be that a fresh set of coaching eyes with Devin Lloyd either simplifies his responsibilities or puts him in a position to do the things he does better, more consistently?
Well, look, in college, he didn't play behind the line of scrimmage, right? He was an on-the-ball outside backer, rusher, or what have you. So the Jags turned him into a linebacker when he wasn't necessarily an off-ball linebacker. I think the closest position to what he did is Sam. Like, let him play Sam. I think he can cut. Now, granted, there's some tight ends nobody can cover one-on-one, but I think he can hang with.
Is he going to shut down Brock Bowers? I don't know.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know who is.
Not too many guys.
But the good thing about Sam is you can rush as well. You know what I mean? You can. You got to play the force on the run, which means you don't let anybody outside you.
Then who's your weak side linebacker?
Right now, Ventrell and Foyer would be my Mike. But I'm open to these new guys, and let's see if they're better. I don't think anybody's set in stone, in my opinion.
Is Muma's roster spot in jeopardy, or is there not enough linebackers to push him off the 53 here?
Well, he's good on special teams, and you know who else is? Caleb Johnson's great on special teams.
But he's not back.
Yeah, he's not back.
No, he's off. No,
wow.
So
man, I would have brought him back.
Well, I mean, but you've got Daniel Thomas, who's really good on special teams,
right?
And Kaiser and Lane, their 2 draft picks,
I would expect them to be on special teams.
Well, maybe more, but, at the very least, they're expected to be highly effective special teams.
So back
players.
to Muma, I think Muma could win a job on special teams. That's what I think. I don't know about how much time.
How many linebackers they've been keeping? 5 or 6 the last couple of years? Trying to.
I think it's been 5.
If it's been 5, and again, new staff. So, but Foyer, Devin Lloyd, Ventrell, Kaiser, and McLeod, you drafted.
Right. Somebody's coming.
So there's 5 right there. You know, you got Muma in the mix, and we'll see at that point.
Well, it comes down to like those 5th and 6th positions, like what you do on special teams compared to these other position groups, like Daniel Thomas is a safety. He's vying for that position on special teams, just like Muma is from the linebacker position.
Yeah. We thought, Tone, that
last year they kept 6, it looks like, but that's with Yasir Abdullah listed as a linebacker.
Okay. Will he make the team? I mean, you feel like that McLeod is a direct replacement for him, at the very least. At least the opportunities he was going to get.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate saying this about any player, but I just don't think Yasir's the guy.
You haven't seen it from him.
No, he doesn't do anything. I was saying, like, he goes up and just grabs people. He doesn't really do anything from a pass rush standpoint. Now, can he play another position? Maybe.
There was a lot of talk leading into the draft who might become expendable. Like, if the Jags have drafted Jalen Walker, right? That high, even though we told you Josh Edwards, CBS, called what was it? The discount Jalen Walker, something
McLeod.
like that. In terms of Jalen McLeod, but
McLeod, sorry, I remember that.
Is Devin Lloyd, with his 5th-year option, his future beyond this year uncertain? If they came to the Jags, somebody came to the Jags, had an injury, and said, "Hey, we'll give you what for Devin Lloyd?" Do you have to? I mean, it's not the most proven linebacker core here, right?
Agreed.
I mean, if you take Lloyd out of the mix,
right?
you're going to have one starter who's very unproven, and when you're in base and you're playing two other guys, you're going to have two guys that are very unproven. So what would it take, if anything? I mean, obviously, someone says, I'll give you a future first. You're doing it, right? But they're not going to do that. So what would Devin Lloyd be a guy that you'd listen to offers on, and what would it take to get you interested?
If I was right on my rookies.
You'd have to wait and find out maybe in the training camp, right?
No. I mean, I wouldn't, but if they get an offer you can't refuse, and
well, obviously, right? And I don't think that kind of offer. But there's always an offer that would make you go, well,
right?
You know what? 1 year of Devin Lloyd or a first-round pick, we'll take that, please.
Yeah,
obviously.
I think physically, Devin Lloyd's got what it takes to play linebacker. I do. I think if they can clean up his game a little bit, and if they have him out there in coverage, which I wouldn't, but. Again, you need hard-hitting linebackers, and he's one of them. He's a physical guy.
All right, why don't we take a look around the other 31 runner-ups in the National Football League?
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
The following 2022 first-round draft picks did not have their fifth-year options picked up. We know that the Jags didn't pick up the option on linebacker Devin Lloyd, as we've been discussing. Tennessee declined the option on wide receiver Treylon Burks. Cleveland declined it on quarterback Kenny Pickett. Philadelphia declined the options on wide receiver Jahan Dotson and guard Kenyon Green. The New York Giants on the option of offensive tackle Evan Neal. New Orleans declined the option on offensive tackle Trevor Penning. Green Bay on linebacker Quay Walker. Dallas on corner Kyer Elam. And New England is declining the option on guard Cole Strange. And Pittsburgh assigned wide receiver Robert Woods to a 1-year, $2 million deal.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, with the husk of Robert Woods at this point in time. I mean, hey, whatever. Not our issue. I did see somebody, and I still think Aaron Rodgers ends up in Pittsburgh. If he's going to play, it's his only chance to get on the field, it seems like, this year. Yeah. But I did see in one of those, we talked to anonymous front office personnel type articles, which I do love, but they are anonymous. So that Mason Rudolph on that guy's board would have been the third quarterback in the draft this year. Third
really?
Best. Now, I don't know if even Shedeur was two. It might have been Dart, right?
Right.
Because obviously he went in the first round. So, but yeah, that Mason Rudolph just as good as pretty much anything you get outside of whatever they felt were the top two guys. And I mentioned this to Tony, Tom, about a month ago. Matt Miller had a notes column on a Friday, draft buzz, and it said, according to one unnamed scout, the worst kept secret in the NFL is the Giants love Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
Which couldn't have been the complete opposite any more than it was, because now we find out that Dable challenged him in the meetings and Shedeur didn't respond well to being challenged. How dare you question me? Kind of thing. So at least that's the way the stories
Legendary.
go. Yeah, legendary. Hashtag
baby.
it, Tony. Come on.
That's right.
All right, let's come back. Let's discuss amongst ourselves what we think about Trevor Lawrence in 2025. And still plenty of time for you to weigh in. The Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day, asking for your expectations. New coaching staff, improved O-line, Travis Hunter to go along with Brian Thomas Jr. in the wide receiver core among the different changes the Jags have made. So what is your expectation for Trevor Lawrence in 2025? It's your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. There's a reason play-by-play has been on the radio for more than 100 years.
There's a drive. Way back. It might be. It could be.
Your home for live play-by-play is 1010XL.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and now Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts, visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. ET here with Tintin XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to, and it should be yours too. Online at kuhnflowers.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler, and this Mother's Day, we'd like to help you celebrate Mom with up to 40% off our entire inventory. GIA-certified natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds, beautiful colored gemstones, designer brands, custom jewelry design, and Monahan Jewelers offers interest-free financing on any purchase, so get something special with a payment you can afford. Come celebrate Mom with fine jewelry at up to 40% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Free Comic Book Day. Hey, I'm Ben Kay, owner of Gotham City Limit, your local comic shop, inviting you to the Community Party of the Year, Saturday, May 3rd. Free comics, free food, huge discounts, and more. Let's take Free Comic Book Day to the limit. Gotham City Limit.
Hunters Know Patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnit Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
What NFL stadium has been used the longest by an NFL team?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Green Bay's Lambeau Field has been used by the Packers since 1957, a span of over 60 years.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjacks.com.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit meritair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384. Friendly competition meets great futures. It's the Birdies and Bounces Tournament presented by the Mackenzie Noel Wilson Foundation Friday, May 9th at the Yards. Where else can a pickleball tournament, 15 holes of golf, food, fun, beverages, raffles, and great activities help a worthy organization like the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida, where 59 clubs serve nearly 6,000 youth daily. For tickets and team registration, email Charlie C. at bgcnf.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's number 55.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
Hey, Dylan, will you tell me Hacker's son is turning 6, or he is about 6 years old?
Yeah, sometime in the summer.
Man, he's going to be 16, like, before you know it, Hack. Just telling you, bro. My son's coming home from college tomorrow, and then he'll be a senior in college. Like, what the hell?
They grow so
flies
fast.
by.
Man, just it does. Absolutely flies by. I don't know.
They always tell you that when you're, a new parent, you're like, yeah, whatever. And then next thing you know, like, holy cow, you're right.
They really do. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
But look forward to seeing him home for the summer. So,
all the days of college, getting out for summer in May.
Bruh.
Or go to summer school. BC summer school was so easy. I barely went, and they'd give you a B. It'd be great. Like,
I never was a summer school guy. I took one summer school class in high school. For to get ahead. Not
get ahead, right?
Not to make
Catch
it up, kind of thing. Fortunately, I never got held back.
Yeah.
But knowing how unseriously I took it, it's a surprise to many that I didn't. Let's just put it that way.
No doubt.
I don't think I ever did the summer school thing.
Oh, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, just one.
Years.
Just one. I remember.
They don't want to be there either. That's the way I looked at it. The professors don't really want to be there. It's summer. Like, they're getting paid to teach a course, but they're like, man, just kind of show up. At least that's what I had in my mind.
All right. Let's get back to the task at hand, which is trying to suss out what we think about Trevor Lawrence's performance in 2025. Let's get back to the phones here, and then we'll go around the table and kind of talk about what we will set as benchmarks for him this year. Glenn is out at the beaches, joins us now. Glenn, good morning.
Hey, fellas, good morning.
Morning.
A couple things. What you just said reminds me of how quickly time passes. Boy, does it. It seems like yesterday that my son was in his elementary school, and we were watching Morton Anderson miss that kick in the stadium.
Yep.
And now he's 37 and my business partner, and we're still season ticket holders.
So cool.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy, I'm your buddy from Planet Fitness, Scotty's buddy. We see each other in the gym once in a while.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so hear me out. Don't think I'm crazy, because I'm not. I like Trevor. I want to keep Trevor, and I really hope Trevor eventually and finally lives up to his potential. But as a lifelong season ticket holder, I'm so excited about these guys down there with Baselli and the GM and et cetera, more than I've been since '99 about our football team. But with that said, I was telling my son yesterday, if Trevor was to have a year similar to what he had last year, which included injured, bad decisions, interceptions, it wouldn't shock me a bit that this fella is up to the task of trading him and drafting one of them 6 quarterbacks next year. Am I crazy?
Well, what are you going to get for him in that scenario? I'm not trying to talk down. Let's have this conversation. Okay. So Trevor Lawrence is struggling. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to trade him. He's struggling with a $250 million contract. What do you get for that contract?
I think, it would have to be the right deal, of course. And I think that he would have to get a first. And it would be someone who would obviously think, if you get the Trevor of last year, you've still got a quarterback that's better than 15 or more quarterbacks in the NFL, I believe.
Well, I mean, if you look, and and we'll let you continue. I just want to play a little devil's advocate here.
Sure.
Trevor went 2-8 last year, completed 60.6% of his passes, which in today's NFL is low.
Very low.
Right? I mean, and if he has that kind of year where he threw 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, not a super strong ratio, I don't know who is giving you a first-round pick with that contract. And so next year, you're already without a first-round pick. So to get into the first round and get up to the level, like we saw last year, right? 6 quarterbacks went, and they went, was it 6 or 5 in the first round, right? You had Penix and Nix and McCarthy, right? And May had 6 guys, but they all went the top 15 picks. So I just think it's the way it's set up, Glenn, like their chips are pushed in my opinion, on Trevor, at least for the next 2-year window. Even if it did go terribly wrong, I don't think you can find that level replacement you're looking for with the situation that they'd find themselves in. That's my opinion. Anyway, what do you think about that?
And with listening to you, I would agree completely. I don't think they'll get somebody to give him a first round if he doesn't play any better than last year. But, the real point that I was arguing, of course, with my son about was this GM, I don't think there's any limit to what he'll do. He showed us this year in the draft.
I agree in a large part. And, Glenn, we appreciate it. And glad you're original and you're raising your son the right way. We appreciate it. Thank you for checking in. Have a great weekend. I
don't think he's shy about being bold, but this is beyond bold.
I think this is, Tony, it's baked in. When you took the job, you understood your next 3 years are pretty much committed to number 16.
Without a doubt.
Based on, like, next year – if they work now, I don't know how it works versus trade versus cut. I haven't gotten into all that. But his cap hit next year is roughly $22 million. His dead cap hit, if you move off of him, is $88 million. You're picking up $60+ million more in cap space you won't have, and you'll have nothing to show for it.
Well, look, and that was part of the deal going in. Like every GM candidate knew that, hey, this is our guy. This is our guy.
Agree.
He's under contract. Don't tell me you're going to move away from I don't want to hear you want somebody else. This is the guy. This is who we're going with. Can you win with him? Of course, you want the opportunity. You say yes, and then here we are. So I don't want to say stuck. Stuck's such a negative, but that's
a reality, though.
It does feel like a weird time with all these kind of things, too, right? Like Cleveland's having to bite the bullet on the Deshaun Watson contract they gave.
Yeah.
And so people are like, well, they're willing to swallow that. It's
but they're not moving. They can't move off of
They can't move off of him. And Trevor's not playing anywhere near where Deshaun Watson was playing, right? Kirk Cousins, they're having to deal with that in Atlanta right now, so they're going to have to eat that contract at some point in time. But Trevor's not playing at the same level as Kirk Cousins, where they're at in their career. So these kind of things that are happening in the real world, where we're watching teams that are like, can we move on? Can we get past it? Jacksonville isn't anywhere near in that position with Trevor Lawrence. He's still a young player who it still feels to me like he's developing. What he's going to be in the league. I'm not saying that I don't want to see him take a big step forward, but I don't think he's played poorly enough in especially the last couple seasons, even to be like, we got to move now. If we don't move now, we're going to be stuck with this. I don't feel stuck with Trevor Lawrence at all. Yeah. I can understand fans out there who do feel that way because they heard, the terms that were used around Trevor. They're like, well, we haven't gotten that guy yet. It's like, no, you haven't.
Right.
That doesn't mean he's bad. It just means he's not whatever that you felt like you were promised he was going to be. He's not played at that level yet. That doesn't make him a bad quarterback.
You can win with Trevor.
Yeah.
I've said that many times. And look, it's not fair to him that he was labeled this generational type kid. Physically, he's got everything, including toughness. It's all mental with him and just cleaning up some stuff. So that is the job. Doug couldn't do it. Whatever. Doug knew he had to do it. Especially after 2023, 2024, he knew hey, I gotta get this kid right. I gotta get him right. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. So then Liam comes in. He feels the same way. This kid is, look, again, physically. You want to compare him to a defensive end that doesn't know how to rush the passer yet, but he's 6'5", 280, runs a 4.4. He's got long ass arms.
And he keeps
jump to the moon.
Right. And every year he's producing 6, 7, 8 sacks, and you're like, well, when's he going to have the 15 sack year? Right. Like that's where Trevor. It's not. We're never seeing anything from him. It's like we're being teased by the things he does.
If they can clean up the consistency, he's going to be a really good quarterback. But to sit here and just say he is one of those, he's got potential to be a top quarterback. No doubt.
One of the things that gives me the most confidence, I don't know if Liam Cohen takes his job if he thinks he's getting stuck with an albatross around his neck here. He could have come back to Tampa with Baker in place, with all the
Yeah.
great pieces there, and you saw what they did. They added Ibuka, who they rated as a top 10 player, and we talked about it at the owners' meetings. Todd Bowles comes out and says, give me an offensive playmaker over a defensive need every time. So he had a head coach who was going to supplement your side of the ball. I feel like Liam Cohen was in a position where his stock was not going to fall if he had gone back to Tampa for a year. Granted, money talks. I get it. We were the only team offering him a job, but he knew the kind of the ground rules in the situation he was walking into here.
Trevor still looked because of his age, a piece of clay.
He's younger than Tyler Shock.
They're going to mold. I know.
He's younger than the guy who just went in the second round.
He is, but he's got a lot of games under his belt.
He does, which I think is a
and some wear and
benefit
tear.
to him.
I grow without a doubt.
Because he
That's
can
the
make
best
every throw. He can do all these things. And we're all excited about getting rid of Balky and Peterson. I hope we're excited about we got in a guy who we think is one of the bright young offensive minds in the league, and Trevor's going to be in his hands.
And they're going to hold him accountable. Not just Trevor, all of them accountable. Just remember how many times last year not running the right routes. You'd be like, what are you guys
You're going to hold him accountable, but Trevor's going to have a lot of rope. Let's be honest. I mean, they're not going to Nick Mullins.
No.
Right?
I didn't mean that at all. But just the mere look, he can't make the mistakes that he's been making. Right? There's critical mistakes that sometimes he makes. Time management, game management, that backside safety, the ill-advised throw, when you don't need to force it, that type of thing. I think if they can clean that kind of stuff up.
All right, we'll come back. We'll give you our final dispensation on what we think passes for a good year for Trevor Lawrence this year. What are our expectations based on the ecosystem that they're building around him? They love that term. We'll discuss that as we wrap up the week here on Jaguars Today. Straight ahead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong.
The Drill.
I never thought you'd pull it off.
Mornings.
But you did.
On 1010XL.
Good luck.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Want to support a locally and veteran-owned company? If you need a new AC, we should be your first and only call. Ideal Conditions keeps you cool. Just ask your AC. Call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com. Powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Mother's Day is coming. Don't run out of time. Small Cakes has sweets she'll love from you and the kids. Mention 1010XL to get 10% off now until Wednesday. Cupcakes to brownies to ice cream. Customize it so it's unique to mom. SmallCakesJacks.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Jacksonville Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
for a fun-filled evening that the whole family can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football, a fast-paced, action-filled sport where excitement meets family fun. Check out your hometown Sharks on Saturday, May 3rd at 7 p.m. Ask about our family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Owl's Pizza gift card, all for only $100. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. Go Sharks!
Prosser here. The Sharks look to get back in winning form this Saturday while you enjoy a fun-filled evening. Ask about our family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Owl's Pizza gift card, all for only $100. Discover the thrill of indoor football, fast-paced, action-filled, family fun, and check out our hometown Sharks Saturday, May 3rd, kickoff 7 o'clock at the MyStar Memorial Arena. For tickets and the family 4-pack information, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700.
Go Sharks! Moms, they're the greatest. From childhood, they're the ones always looking out for you so you don't forget Mom on Mother's Day. And the place to go for memory-making gift ideas is Golden Diamonds Direct. They're in the Publix Plantation Plaza on Racetrack Road, and they've got a ton of great gift ideas for Mother's Day. Super easy to make Mom smile when she sees what you've picked out. Countless pieces of handcrafted jewelry, plus gift wrapping too. It's all at Golden Diamonds Direct on Racetrack Road in the Publix Plantation Plaza.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Tyson Sound & Security has a house built right inside their showroom, showcasing complete home automation and security systems. You have to see it to believe it. This setup can recognize intruders who approach your door and alerts them to leave if there's a break-in. Keep your family safe with the most state-of-the-art technology. Tyson Sound & Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
All right, Stephen A needs to pump the brakes. I just took a glance up there. The top 5 clutch shooters left in the playoffs. Even I'm not putting Brunson ahead of Steph Curry.
Yeah, what's he doing?
Number 1 ahead of Steph Curry?
No way.
Come on. Come on.
He's trying to
Stephen A. Get back to running for president, Stephen A.
Yeah, really.
Come on.
Really.
Unbelievable. All right. Dylan Denmark's Chargers are out in Pensacola for a track meet today.
Nice.
What do you got? You got Blue and Hacker after dark tonight, Denmark?
Yes, sir.
Still to go.
And we got a scrimmage today, boy.
Oh,
Football
a
practice.
scrimmage.
We're going to need some knock-aheads or something.
Oh, you got a full day then, huh?
That's every day. What are you talking about?
Every day. This is this guy. This is the life he leads.
That's what you do. When
He's
you're
a young grinder, man.
That's right, man.
You know, got his fingers in a lot of different pies. See you on the first tee on Sunday, though, young man.
Yes, sir.
So there you go. By the way,
fingers in pies.
You're
not supposed to put your finger in a pie, I don't think.
Well, you know, how do you know how it tastes?
Get a fork.
You could get a little fork, right? But, you know, I don't know. That's fine. Best pie. What's best pie?
French silk.
French silk. Okay, I like chocolate cream. Very similar.
Okay.
Apple.
Yeah, anything
apple
chocolate,
for you. I'm not an
chocolate.
apple guy.
Pecan.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie. Is my
Pecan,
favorite.
baby. Go pee in a can.
Pecan. I like. You know, honestly, just give me a Hostess fruit pie.
Yeah,
that's the best damn pie. Give me that lemon Hostess fruit pie, man.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That is the goods, right
anything
there.
chocolate for
with
me,
that
I'm
sugary coating on the outside. I haven't eaten a fruit pie in a long, long time.
You might have to stop and get
that was my go-to snack for a while, for a period in my life.
Yeah.
The lemon pie from Hostess. Oh, man. Put that bad boy in the fridge. It's got to be in the fridge for at least like 12 hours. It's got to be cold, not just.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cold pie.
Cold pie. Cold pie. Cold fruit pie.
Hair pie and cold pie.
not bad.
So, I mean, hot pie and cold pie. You better.
All right, you might want to check that one
How
there.
did that come out?
Denmark. Wow.
I didn't mean it either.
Too late? Is that a too late?
You may hit it.
Yeah, it might be too late now. So
I
It was the last 10 seconds. We got it.
all right, all right.
Cold. I usually.
I think you're safe.
I guess.
Let's get off the subject, shall we? Let's just talk Trevor Lawrence now.
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10
Simmer
take
down.
is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company. Veteran owned and operated.
Yeah, we almost had the ideal conditions to not be back next Monday. Tommy, chill there, brother.
I don't know how it came off. I don't know how it came off.
I do. All right, Trevor Lawrence expectations. I'm going to lead this bad boy off, right? Because to me, it's not about numeric efficiency. It doesn't have to be, right? Like, I'm not going to say 30 touchdowns, 35 touchdowns, whatever the bar is. I want to say at the end of this year, got to stay healthy. Got to play at least 15, 16 games, right? I mean, look, ideally, we wrap up the division. We don't have anything on the line in week 18. You take the week off. That's fine, right? But I'd like to see you available for 15 or 16 games at a minimum. But if you do that, I believe, otherwise we're just, what are we doing here? I believe Liam Cohen is a good offensive mind. I do think he will scheme up some easier throws. I do think his attention to trying to build a running game for Trevor Lawrence will pay more benefits than we've had recently. I don't know if it's going to be one of the best running games in the league, but what I think there's a lot of Bucky Irving in Basil Tootin. I really do. And look, 4 free agents on the offensive line, 2 more draft picks on the offensive line. Yep. They're going to have 2 to 3 new starters in that area. And for me, the expectation is by the end of the year, provided we did get that good health for Trevor, we're saying he had the best year of his career. I don't know what that is. Does that mean that, he was 25-8 when they went 9-8? Does that mean he has to be 26-7? Well, maybe he throws 10 interceptions. Maybe he throws 30 touchdowns. I think it's more of a feel like we'll say, aha, okay, now we're starting to see the guy we probably should have seen 2 to 3 seasons ago, but it's starting to emerge. That, to me, is my expectation. I expect to feel like Trevor Lawrence delivered his best individual performance by the end of this year. Again, I can't predict health. If Trevor is in the pocket and somebody blindsides him and takes his knee out, that, right. It's not a Trevor thing. And by the way, every quarterback gets hit. And so it doesn't mean the line is atrocious. It could just be one bad play. Somebody gets beat. So I just think, Tony, it's more of a feel that if, again, he has reasonably good health, we will feel, my expectation is that by January, we're going to say we've finally seen the best of Trevor Lawrence. Not the best we'll ever see, but the best we've seen in his 5 seasons in the National Football League.
I want to feel about Trevor Lawrence the way we felt about him halfway through 23. Right? With the way that he finished 22, he played well enough the back half of that season, and I say this over and over, but it's true. He got an MVP vote that year.
In 22. Yeah.
Right. For the way that he finished that season, he got an MVP vote. They won that playoff game in comeback fashion against the Chargers. Like, everything worked out that season, and it felt like they had that kind of momentum again halfway through 23. We haven't felt that way in a year and a half. Right? It's been a long time since we felt that way. So I want to feel that again. I'm with you. I don't have to put numbers on it. But, something in the range of 4,000, 28, and 12, right? Like, that makes sense to me in my head for that kind of season again from Trevor Lawrence, something in that area. But I do think it's about the feel of where he's at. Just give me the feeling that I had halfway through 23 again. And I certainly think he's more than capable of it's still in him for him to be that kind of player. I still expect him to be that kind of player. Like, I'm putting this bar out there. I expect him to hit it and exceed it. Like, honestly, whatever my level of, that's nice, he's back. I think he's going to hit that and exceed it here in 25, but that's where I would put the bar.
Tom McManus is the sausage king of Jacksonville, and he's now going to tell us.
I'm going to go numerical. I normally don't, but I'm going to go numerical. I'm going to say completion percentage upper 60s.
Okay.
Right? 65, 68.
Career 63.3, so his best was 66.3, so something topping that.
Topping that.
Okay.
Yeah, 67, let's say.
Okay, 67.
I want a 2.5 times TD to interception ratio. So 25-10, whatever that is.
He gave you 3-1 in 2022, so he's certainly capable of doing that.
I'll take 3-1 all day long. Obviously, the win record get us into a position to. It's more than just him, obviously, but I also want to see at least a couple times where he takes over. Things aren't going the offense's way for whatever reason, and number 16 puts it on his back and takes over. Now, everyone's got to do their job too, but he comeback win, clutch win, those kind of things. It's time for him to take that next step to where, you know what? And he has, by the way, the defense let him down last year. There were plenty of times where we brought him back, defense let him down, yada. But let's close out some games where he's doing everything he can to pull him from the depths.
And that's what they did for the whole back half of 22.
I know.
It was every time they were put in that situation, everybody came through at the same time. It wasn't
on offense. Yeah.
On defense, too.
Can we hold
like that pick in overtime against Dallas? Like there was
that year.
It was big time stuff. That whole back half of 2022. It was every time those got the bell rang.
Right.
The whole team answered, led by Trevor Lawrence.
I'm hoping that he doesn't have to do that as often as he's had or we've needed it in the past. Look, 10 one-score losses. Get 4 of those cemented away before the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? So you're not. It's not. That doesn't mean we're in the fourth quarter and Trevor's got to lead a game-winning drive in those 10 games now, right? We should already have put some of those games away, hopefully, and be on our way to a better record. But yeah, let's have some fourth quarter heroics and all that. But let's have some. All these things that go into it. I mean, you could pick. Does he need to start faster? Yes. Right? Yeah. Does he need to make more? Look, I'm not saying he hasn't had fourth quarter heroics. He has.
Oh, yeah,
right?
For sure.
But more of all these things, more consistency. Like you're talking about the completion percentage, you know, and yes,
that's a big one.
Look, I do feel that we're not going to have to wait until the final 6-7 games of the year to feature Brian Thomas Jr.
Right.
And now you bring in a guy who. Normally, if you drafted Travis Hunter, he'd go right to the top of your wide receiver depth chart, and he has the luxury of coming in with Brian Thomas's talent opposite him.
Well, think of the speed they've added, right? De'Ami Brown, Travis, you got BTJ, Tootin, who could take it to the house. You got some.
Travis got to play up to that speed.
Oh yeah,
though, too.
For sure.
Yeah. Like to see Travis hit that hole a little harder, and hopefully he'll have more holes to hit harder, and turn that. Yards per carry average around.
ETN.
What did I say?
I was talking Hunter, like he's your.
Oh, you said Hunter. Okay, I was thinking.
But I didn't throw ETN in there. But yeah. I mean, he could.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hunter's got the blazing speed. No question about it. All right, let's take a look at some of the responses. Got a lot of numerical projections for him. That's fine. We love whatever you're giving us. Doom goes 23 TDs, 7 picks, couple of fumbles, and I understand wins are not a quarterback stat, but I want to see the team win at home. Hope they do well, win the South, make the playoffs, but win your home games. No more first home win of the season in damn London. Hey, amen to that.
Yeah,
Gary goes, a playoff win, 4,500 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 picks. I mean, you're setting the bar very high, right? Now, he has won a playoff game. He has been a 4,000-yard passer. What's his best singles? Man, this Pro Football Reference is like...
That sounds like Blake Bortles' year from 2016. 35 touchdowns.
But he didn't. No, it was 2015, I think, right? But he didn't.
Was it 2015?
But he didn't have that playoff win to go with it.
Right. That's
true. So do it in a winning fashion here. Man,
what was the yardage number he had there?
4,500.
There were 3 quarterbacks in the league who had 4,500 yards.
Yeah, Trevor's high is 41. But hey, again, we're asking your expectations. I just think that's a very high bar.
There were only 6 quarterbacks in the NFL who had 4,000 last year. Like the bars we put on these guys, I don't think they're unreasonable. He's a player that's capable of, being in those kind of ranges. But it's like the sack stuff that we've talked about in the past before, right? Like there are these numbers we get in our head. We only see the top number in the league. And it's like, well, why isn't my guy, leading the league in this every year? And it's like, well, you actually look at some of these stats and it's like, well, there's a handful of guys who do it in the whole league.
Yeah.
These are really high bars for guys to get. 4,000 yards.
Yeah, that's why I'm not putting a number on. I think we'll know, like at the end of the year, is this his best year? Yeah, I feel like it's his best year or not.
Well, I did the math. 4,000 yards is only like 230 a game. 5,000 is almost.
But to
300
Tony's
again.
point, a part of it is
Doesn't really
quarterbacks
matter,
get hurt, right?
Yeah.
We had a renaissance of rushing last year. We had
No doubt.
We had Saquon. We had Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs. I'm just talking about the guys who changed teams and went and became
Derrick Henry
feature backs. Derrick Henry. All these guys, these veterans that were already proven going into needy situations for them, and they all flourished. And so,
I throw Aaron Jones on that too. Yeah,
I did. Absolutely. Aaron Jones, the cyclical nature of, what offenses do. Hey, as soon as they're doing nothing but dropping 6 in the secondary, we're going to pound it down your throat a little bit. I mean, it's been that way. I'll just read these last two because I agree with both. Brian, just finished the season not on IR is a good start. So that obviously. Like that. And then Code Blue, just have a career year if you can stay healthy, expecting better play calling and execution. That's right where I'm at.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be 4,500. It can be 4,200.
Yeah.
It can be 24 touchdowns. It could be 34 touchdowns.
Just win, baby.
Are you winning? Are you making the big plays at the big moments?
25 touchdown passes last year, by the way, would have put him top 10 in the league.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
There were 4 quarterbacks, there were 3 quarterbacks who threw 40. There were 6 quarterbacks who threw 35. Right, like, these are really lofty numbers.
And so for some people, they expect him to make that jump to be a top 5 quarterback. That's not my expectation this year. Maybe eventually getting up there.
I think he's capable.
I just, again, massive step in the right direction. All right, let's say hello to Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Speaking of a massive upgrade, hello,
Hey, hello.
Taylor Dahl. How are
Hello.
things?
Things are great. Have you got your draft pick up yet?
No. My draft. I've been talking to Taylor all week about a fantasy draft we started on Monday that we're not even at the end of round 4.
Oh, geez.
And it's only 12
Yeah,
teams.
taking a little long.
I mean, it's absurd. It's no movement since I checked in with you at about 9:30 today. So thanks for asking.
Yeah.
What's coming up on the heels today?
Yeah, so we are going to have a little bit of a conversation of how many of these 2025 draft picks we think will be starting right away this season. So we're going to get into that. Each of us have a little bit of a different opinion on that. And then we also have Andy Bitter. He is a beat writer for Virginia Tech, so he's going to come on and talk some Basial Tootin' with us and learn a little bit more about him on that front and what we can expect here in Jacksonville too.
Yeah, I think it might only be one, honestly, with starters, but I know you guys will debate it all. It could be 2 and it'd be the same person.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Milum. It could be 2.
We could have. Do you count Travis twice?
I would. If he starts both sides, I'd count that as 2 starters out of the draft.
Sure.
And that's part of their thought process and paying up to get him.
His name is Wyatt.
Wyatt Miley.
Other than Travis.
That's probably going to be one we'll get a lot.
He's the next one that I think most people. I think Ransaw could win the starting free safety job. Tootin, under the right circumstances, could open up as your starting running back. Kaiser could
do you
earn
like Kaiser, Taylor?
I like Kaiser,
You watch Notre Dame football. Do you
I really like Kaiser. He's one of the guys. He can do a lot of things, and I think that's what's good, which I also think that's kind of what the Jags have done this offseason is bring in guys that are super versatile, and Jack Kaiser can. He played a lot of middle linebacker, but he can play Sam. He's really good when it comes to like pre-snap identifying things that are happening because that was kind of what Al Golden had them do. 6 years in college, so that's good or bad.
Okay.
Sometimes I think it's like you have a lot of experience, and sometimes it's like there's a reason you were there for 6 years.
Yeah,
one more year, he'd be on the Coward plan, but hey, that's Coward will tell you himself.
Or that 9-year tight end for Miami.
He was on that 7-year plan, or he could be Cam Rising, who still could have appealed for another year of college
insane.
football. How is that possible?
Yeah, that's insane.
Anyway, Cam Rising's got kids older than Trevor
That's
Lawrence.
you have like 30-year-olds playing with the 20-year-olds.
All right, Taylor, have a great show
Thank
and a
you.
great weekend as well. Taylor Dahl, Helmets and Heels, coming your way for the next couple hours. Tommy Mack, going to see one of your daughters this weekend?
2, actually. Kelsey's coming in from L.A. Her company's putting on the competition that Harley, my youngest, is competing in. It's kind of cool. She'll be up there teaching and all that. So haven't seen her in a few months. So going to haul ass down there, and the family will be all together.
And Tony's got Braves Dodgers. Dylan's got all kinds of things. And I got a little Sunday golf and the kid coming home from college. So it's a busy weekend for all. We'll be back Monday. Chad Ryder from NFL.com will be giving us his draft grades for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we'll start a fresh week. Demetrius Harvey in studio with us next Wednesday, as a matter of fact, just to throw that one out there. All right, from all of us here at Jaguars Today, have a wonderful weekend. Stick around. Helmets and Heels is next on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.